For our next phase of what we're doing here, we've got a Shark Tank thing happening.
Okay.
So people are going to come in and present to us an idea they have.
Right.
And instead of paying them to own part of it, we're going to offer to make it for them.
That's really interesting. So all of a sudden it's the other way around. People are pitching to you rather than you're pitching to them.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So what was your you're going to do that. What were your thoughts about how you're going to assess about what you're going to do? And how would you communicate with them? How do you get the information from them?
Okay, so don't know. I read an article this morning about that. So you're saying when they come in, how do we know if it's the idea that we're going to go with?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know how we're going to know. I suppose we're just going to work out. Well, one thing I read in that article, it's about you have to understand the technology and how you're going to go about it, and do you have the time, etc. Well, but it also mentioned, personality, is that the type of person that we work well with as well.
Yeah. So cultural fit, of course.
Yeah. So cultural fit. So I think we'll just listen to it. If it's something that we find interesting, will be one thing.
Yeah.
If it's something that we think we can do,
yes,
is the second thing.
Yes.
And if it's someone who we like, it's probably the third thing, I would say.
Okay, very interesting. I'll try and relate it to a real world scenario, something very similar to that. Obviously, as a consultant, so you have a new a business person come into your office and say, hey, I want this new cool little app built. So for your decision is, how long is it going to take you to build? What technology stack you're going to use? How are you going to deliver all the things that they want? Not what they're talking about. Sometimes it's possible because obviously as a non-technical person, it's hard for them to relate to how it's exactly going to be built, right? So it comes to your responsibility to do the translation between a business person's talk to a technology a website or something that's real.
Yep.
Yes. And how are you going to estimate?
Something that's real.
Something that's real, obviously, something that you can see.
I love that term.
It's not floating in a cloud, an idea, right? So how are you going to do estimations? Think about that. How long is it going to take for you guys to build this? And what is the shortest amount of time that you can build an MVP for them so that they can see and feel? Yeah. At my company, we have this policy of ship to production first day, otherwise it didn't happen.
First day?
Yes, first day. Ship something first day, otherwise it didn't happen, sort of thing. So you get onto the client side, you build some infrastructure around, get it to production, just a simple page, and then build on top of that. The first day you're like, hey, there you go, your site is just plain and it's ready. We'll build on top of that. So you're giving them something right from the beginning. Yep. You're all about the end result. Go, 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 sort of thing.
Yep.
Right? Yeah, does that kind of, is that something that you guys would do?
Yeah, well, it talked about agile and waterfall in this article too.
Yeah,
I'm thinking back now, so yeah. So that's probably something we will do. As soon as we decide which pitch we're going to go for,
okay,
straight away,
yes,
get something out so they can see, right, they've started.
Yes.
And then it's probably obviously going to be easy for them to give us feedback too, right? Because they can actually see what we've done so far.
Exactly.
And they say, I don't want that button there, I want it there.
Yes.
And whatever, so.
Exactly, because it's the translation from an idea to something that's real.
So what platforms do you want it on? Is it going to be native app? How are you going to monetize it?
What's the deadline?
What features, deadlines,
What's the deadline? What's your realistic deadline? And this is a difficult question actually to ask because you have to ask them what's the MVP? What is the least required features for this so that we can get it out of the door? Phase 1.
When you say out of the door, you mean available for public use, or you mean just for them to look at?
No, public use. Public use, because a lot of the times customers will go, hey, this is a shiny new feature, I absolutely want this. But then you're like, but does this really give you value? So everything you're trying to translate into value. How much value does this offer customers? Because for example, they're going to be like, hey, if we have a cool animation of a bicycle, then it's going to be better. But you're like, what value is it going to add? Because it's your time and money, hopefully in the future, right?
Yeah.
So value. Everything that they want, what is the value? If they have infinite amount of money, obviously that's not a question. You can just build the most grandest thing. But you always have to ask. Time is limited, money is limited. So it's like, what is the value that I'm going to deliver? And then try and minimize the amount of features that they want to an absolute necessary one. Phase 1, get it out of the door, get to the customers, because it's very, very important to get feedback. Always show something, build something. definitely. But back it up with the back end.
Yeah, but when there's only when I have to make the decision, do I work on the front end to begin with or the back end? It's always the front end because you can
Yes.
demonstrate you're doing things a lot easier.
Yes, obviously. I think the first thing, like if we are building for a client, as I was saying, push to production the first day, show something, build a whole stack, in this continuous integration, so you can just click and deploy. Build that whole stack first, and then get something out of the door, show the front page or whatever, and then start adding on top of that. Because the second day you're like, hey, there you go. You have a web page. We're gonna build on top of that. It's about setting up the rapport with them, making them trust you that you're doing the great work, and get feedback from them. Feedback, get feedback from them. Talk to them as much as possible. And obviously, as I was saying, with the app as well, if it's going to go to the people, get it out of the door as soon as possible. And if there's a difficult conversation that you need to have, one of the tricks that I always do is start with the problem, suggest few options, give them the pros and cons of each of the different options, and then help them decide.